Hey, what up, what up? This your boy Gabriel Willer, and I'm locked in with my bro, Mr. Ferman Jackson Jr. on Walking His Ways and Impact Voice. Love your show, bro. Keep it going.
You are now listening to the most talked about blog talk radio station in the universe. Walking His Ways, Impact Voice Radio. Be prepared to have your mind stimulated, your spirit elevated in ways you couldn't even imagine. Introducing your host and the mastermind behind this unforgettable experience, Ferman Jackson Jr. You will not be disappointed. Let's go!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Walking His Ways Impact Force Podcast. I'm your host, Ferman Jackson Jr., broadcasting live once again from our new home, my new city of Arlington, Texas, outside Dallas and Fort Worth. Big shout out to the DFW. Big shout out to the whole surrounding state of Texas. And shout out to my hometown of Mobile, Alabama, other surrounding areas as well. Remember, on Walking This Way Impact.
As we are now experiencing technical difficulties, I would definitely like to continue introducing our guests and thanking you guys for tuning in to us tonight until Ferman returned. I am your co-host, Coach Shay here. I have Anna C here with me on the live.
Anna C is in the building, and I'm so excited about tonight.
Me as well. We have our guest speaker here, Miss Nadirah. How are you tonight?
Hi, everybody. I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Thank you.
We are so happy to have you here with us.
Absolutely. We like to start every podcast, and we want to give the audience, maybe the people who may not know you just yet. Can you tell us?
I like that. Just yet.
Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do. Let's really get to know you for a second.
Okay, well, my name is Nadirah Shakir Ramseur. I am going to be celebrating 3 years of marriage with my husband coming up this July, on July 19th. We have a newborn. Her name is Aaliyah. Well, she's not a newborn anymore. She's 10 months, but I have an almost toddler. Her name is Aaliyah. She's been pretty much all of my focus, but outside of acting, teaching does pay my bills. You know, I teach 7th grade math. I up until having Aaliyah taught coach volleyball and track. I love movies. I love going to the gun range, you know, Texas girl, you know, and game nights and just kind of spending time relaxing and getting wine and dined by my husband whenever we can do date night. So yeah, I'm pretty simple and, you know, relaxed. Actually, that's a lie. I'm actually wild and crazy, but you know, a newborn take a lot out of you.
So. Right. And so how did you feel about quarantine kind of being a teacher and it taking you out of your element? Were you going crazy?
Oh no, I mean, it was an okay adjustment for me. I just tracked down my kids, made sure they got online so that we didn't have to worry about any type of attendance issues. And I have a pretty good group of kiddos. So it was okay. I mean, of course I had some students that wouldn't log on and all of those things, but I mean, preparing a wedding and having a child will endure lots of things in your life. One thing specifically, are we allowed to test here?
We do allow freedom of speech here. I mean, no hard F-bombs or anything, I would say.
Okay. Okay, well then I'll just go, and you can take this part and we'll go back. Okay.
No
So,
F-bombs.
okay, we'll take this part out. Okay, so yeah, I mean, being a teacher during quarantine, it wasn't that bad for me. You know, I just made sure my kids logged on so that there wasn't any attendance issues and all of those things. And of course, I had some kids that it was hard for them to log on internet, but my school district tried to make sure that we were one-to-one on Chromebooks, and anyone that needed. Sorry, y'all, we have a special guest that is very excited. But we I'm sorry, guys. This is Aaliyah. She wanted to get on and say hello to the people of the world with her dirty mouth. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I made sure our district did a good job making sure our we had laptops for everybody and internet access or internet access codes for everybody. So that's what I just had to adjust. I mean, getting married and having a child will teach you a lot of times. You kind of just got to go with the flow of things. I'm a very A-type person, so that was very difficult for me, but just got to be like, hey, all right, well, let's go. That's it.
You do. Like, it's at times where, like, I experience that a lot with my clients. They'd be like, well, I'm not ready. And I'm like, well, I mean, initially you have to start somewhere to be able to finish, right? So definitely just getting started and just getting adjusted. I know it's crazy, like when you becoming a first time mom and getting adjusted to your new life. And that's definitely something that I specialize in. So you definitely probably want to tap in with me. I'm very, very seasoned in that area. So what made you choose acting? Like what made you choose acting? Like, did you act as a child? Were you inspired by maybe your parents or things that you saw? What inspired your acting career?
Well, I'm originally born in San Antonio, Texas, and I actually been acting since the age of 2. So I've always been super outgoing and had a personality of my own and all of those things. And I went to an African American private school, and we used to do monologues. They would call them speeches, but monologues of different African American my ancestors and pioneers here in the United States, and we would dress up like them and be them in a sense by saying like one of their speeches or something that they've done to change Black America. And so I've been doing that since I was 2. I took a break when I was in middle school because I started doing sports, and I actually wanted to study theater in college, but I got a scholarship. And either track practice or dress rehearsal, and since they pay the bills, you go to track practice. Okay, so I had to put that on the back end, and then once I graduated, I was able to get back on and back into it from there. But as an adult, and your why changes. A lot of times they say, what's your why? Why are you doing? Why are you wanting to be an actress? And over the time, for me personally, it has changed. It went from, as a child wanting the attention and wanting to say these speeches and get these voices out there to taking a break, and then to, I love telling the truth under imaginary circumstances, being able to escape life, being able to be a different person and move people, to now this little bundle of joy, doing it for her so that she could see mommy when she grows up, and what things and people that I've influenced and that I've changed. And like it was mentioned before we started, living out the dreams of what it is that you feel like you're put here on earth to do. So that's in essence my why.
So deep. I'm just sitting here amazed because I'm listening to what you're saying, And I'm just wondering, with you being a wife, a new mom, an educator, like how do you balance all of that and still maintain an acting career? And with that balance, what's the hardest part of the juggle?
I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm no cap. I'm not even gonna try to front. I'm still just trying to figure it out. I'm learning the word no more and more, and you pray and hope people. God bless, baby. God bless. You hope and pray. You hope and pray people understand. Unfortunately, a lot of times people don't. People that don't have kids, they don't get it. I was one of those people. Not that I, had, ill feelings to people that had children, but you just don't know until you know, right? And I remember when I was pregnant, I called some of my close friends and I called them and I apologized. I was like, I'm so sorry. Cause you do your checks like, hey, how you doing? Send my little gift, right? But just had I known what I was going to embark on or what they embarked on, I would have went to the house. I would have let them get some sleep and did some dishes. I would have, just did more. And they're like, it's okay. Cause they now know that but it's very difficult. If I could, in a nutshell, just give you a synopsis of my day, I wake up, get her ready, I get ready. If I go to work, if I do not work out at school, I don't get to work out. So I would try to work out during my lunch break. If I don't have a meeting, so that's when that happens. Then I come home and I'm either meal prepping for the week or I'm cooking for the family, playing with her some more. And then if I have auditions, I have to wait till she goes to sleep. I'm not able to do it. So in the world of self-tapes, you now have to set up your deal and get your hair ready and do all the things and prep for the character. And that in itself is exhausting. And you haven't even set it up and recorded it. Not to mention my husband is on my payroll. I pay him in love. So he says my auditions for me. And I'm so grateful for him. He's put up with so much, and the way the industry works, a lot of times your turnaround is next day. You might get 2 days max. And my prep for a character, I've learned I've had to learn to condense a lot of the prep that I do to prepare for a role. So after that happens, you have to edit it and then get ready for the next day, prep the bottles, get all of the stuff. And then like, I think that was Shanane said, still be a wife. So, you still got to do that from time to time, and that's in a perfect day. Lots of times it doesn't even go that way. She gets sick. Just, she doesn't feel like sleeping all the way through the night. And sometimes you just do it. You just do it anyway. So, and then, sometimes you want to be social and go to a brunch or go to a birthday, and then your entire week is thrown off because you didn't meal prep that day because you went to brunch instead. And it's just, I'm learning, I'm adjusting and figuring it out and saying no a lot more.
There's power in
yeah.
Hey, that's
the
awesome stuff.
adjustment takes time, definitely. Just give yourself time. Make sure you give yourself grace and be patient with yourself because, this is new. It's new to you, and allow yourself to just experience it. Just experience it and not, not judge it. Like for me, I know when I was transitioning to my second kid, I did have a doula. My doula helped me so much. Like you said, she understood, and she's my best friend. She understood the assignment. Like she came to my rescue. She would come help me clean. She would come cook for me. She would make sure that when I was breastfeeding, that I was at my healthiest to try and breastfeed. Because my last son was born premature, so I had to breastfeed him a little longer than I wanted to. But it was for the better to get him bigger, the faster pace. But definitely allow yourself time and grace. I think as women, and today is National Women's Day, so that's pretty perfect as well. So as being women and being moms, we definitely have to allow ourselves that time away, and don't allow people to guilt you, right? Don't allow people to guilt you into taking your 30 minutes away or your hour away when you need it, because it's necessary. If mom is messed up, it means the whole house doesn't function properly, y'all. Because technically, we pulling 90% of the strings in the house. We trying to do this, we trying to do that. Like Nadirah was saying, we trying to hold 50 hats in the business, and then we still trying to be a mom, we still trying to be a wife, we still trying to be a sister, daughter, and all these other titles that the world puts upon us. We still trying to be all these things, and still trying to figure it out. And we still trying to be ourselves all at the same time. So definitely just allow yourself grace and be patient with yourself in this transition.
Definitely. I had her at a birthing center, and my midwife and my doula were top tier, and I have an amazing tribe. Like I said, my husband, like, he's super dad. Like, he lets me get those 30 minutes. He will take her on special trips so that I could sleep, and he wakes up in the middle of the night with us while I'm feeding her. We on month 10 with the breastfeeding, so we doing it. God willing, I'm trying to make it to a year. So,
oh, you're doing good. Yeah, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Oh, my Ferman froze again. Oh, Lord Jesus. Well, so what is it that you have learned that you like most about acting? I heard you kind of mention earlier, like, is it the escape, like the you get to escape from being who you are for a second?
No, well, so as an actor, you're having to know everything. Well, you should anyway, about your craft. And I think for me, I'm continuously learning within the craft. But as of recent, I've actually really enjoyed directing and assistant directing. I've done that as of late more. And I'm enjoying that process of storyboards and Bibles and character log lines, and just kind of learning more from a different perspective, so that when I am in front of the camera, I got a better perspective of what's being asked of me, and what all it took to come up with this character and all of those things. But within acting, I would say my favorite part, or the thing that I enjoy more, is putting the character together. What does she wear? What is her relationship with her family? What type of job does she have? Is she a runner? Is she a walker? Does she get on a treadmill? Does she have a good relationship with her family? Is she married? Does she have kids? What type of car does she drive? What does she eat every day? Those types of things, for me, really just excite me. So
Oh, that's remarkable. I liked it. I think that the industry has a lot of a different kind of approaches like you can take, but it being able to be dynamic all around the board and know all the ins and outs of any business is very important, and finding your sweet spot.
And
Yeah.
people will love you more for it. If you're shooting with a director, you should know what type of lens they're shooting with, so you know the space and the frame that you can move about the camera. You should know what a grip does. You should know what a gaffer does. You should know who the PA is on set. Like, you should know who's doing craft. You should know definitely know who the AD is. Like, you should know these things and what it is that they do, so everybody's life is easier. An editor will be your best friend if you know where the light is. If you know how you're being shot, the editor, you're like, shoot her anytime. She's amazing. Yes, keep her around.
Right. I've definitely seen like I like to call them low budget movies. No offense to anybody, but I like to call them the lower budget movies where they don't really know where the lighting is. They don't know where the camera is. They kind of looking off. And I know we notice this a lot in plays. This is very common in a lot of plays. They never know where the camera is positioned.
Oh, that's not good.
I've
That
definitely
would
noticed
suck.
it. I've definitely noticed it. So
But
did you take
plays
any-
are also a different beast. I come from actually the theater world. The transition was a little difficult, but you're learning something new. But with the good thing about theater is you get your feedback right away, right? With film and TV, you have to wait for someone to see it and write a comment, but live theater, there's nothing like live theater. And the good thing is, actually, you don't necessarily, well, in a sense, you don't necessarily need to know where the camera is at. If it's shot properly, they'll get the right angles from whatever. There should be a minimum 3, center and stage left, stage right. So they should be able to flip and get what they need. Of course, being open to camera is always a must, but yeah.
So basically it's the editor fault when it don't come out like it's supposed to be flipped and swapped.
It depends, because whoever's shooting it, sometimes the editor can't, sometimes the editor gotta do what they gotta do with what they was given. It's a collaborative thing. Everybody has to do their job. If one person doesn't do their job, it can be that for sure.
Right. I heard you're initially from San Antonio. That's my hometown as well.
Hey,
And yeah, I'm straight.
what school you go to?
I was there. I moved to Mobile like in elementary school, but I didn't stay far from the Alamo, and I didn't stay far from downtown, But
Okay.
when you spoke of theater, because I remember, like you spoke about the monologues, I remember being a little girl at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church and going to church and always having to say these speeches. But I also recall being taken to plays and going to the playhouses. Do you think did you participate in playhouses, and did that help in your development as an actress? Like, what helped you figure out some of that stuff you were mentioning, like knowing to do this, knowing to do that? What was influential in the early part of your career?
Definitely did a lot of theater within different workshops and stuff like that. But I would say there's nothing like being on the job, right? You can go to school. It's very important to get educated with whatever it is that you're wanting to do. So going to film school or, studying theater in college is good. But I think you're going to, just like they say with any job, you're going to learn more by being on the job, and just as many sets that you can be on. Like, people frown upon or want to be in this space where I've got my trailer and I'm doing this and that. And of course, that is the goal, right? But I'm a big believer.
Question.
Yes.
Oh, somebody got a question? I heard somebody say question. Go ahead with your question. Don't get shy.
We'll try and save the questions for the end of the interview. And Ferman, maybe you can direct that, because I know so many people want to ask her, about her career and how she got started.
Yes, ma'am.
Then.
Okay, yeah. When we get done with the interview, then we'll put in questions. So that'll work. So we should continue on.
Yeah, so I think that the best teacher is being on set. So again, like I was saying, some people want to say, you know, they're what the end goal is, but I think it's very important to go through the struggle. And what I mean by that is doing free stuff, doing extra stuff, doing independent films, doing non-union to union films. And the only reason I say that is because I remember when I finally graduated, I went to Atlanta, the summer of 2014. I was like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna be found and they're going to pick me. And this is even before it became Tyler Perry, you know, before Tyler Perry students. This is when they were, Louisiana was dealing with their licensing and like everyone was pushing everything to Atlanta. And I was like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do this, this and that. And obviously, I mean, it did not happen the way I wanted, but it happened the way God wanted it. And I wouldn't have changed anything. And I say that because I went out there and I took classes. I did a whole bunch of extra work. And I was on these big studio lots and I saw, oh, that's what a director is. Okay, that's where they put principal. That's where craft set up. Okay, extras over there. Oh, look at the trailers. Those are nice. Oh, okay. I can't wait till I'm getting, you know, you're doing all these things and learning all these things. And you start hearing the lingo like, oh, 10-1. What's 10-1? 10-2? Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, 5. You know, just think, oh, that's theater. But, you know, you just start learning more when you're in the field, when you're doing the work. And I think it's good to be a part of the stuff that's not 100% organized or 100% there, because you learn so much more when you don't have all the ducks in a row. You're like, oh, okay, I made that mistake, but I got it now. Okay, that's good. I got it.
Man. And I see y'all ladies are having a great conversation. Sorry about my end. I had some technical difficulties on my end. But just coming in, awesome stuff that you got going on. I know you mentioned your husband, the support that he has with you. So when it's so with your career, so actually, so you and your husband manage your own career or y'all work with the agency? How do they go about?
Oh, I was just kidding about that. My husband has a normal 9 to 5. Well, not 9 to 5. My husband is a firefighter. I just beg him to read lines for me when I have auditions. But yes, I'm within my own career. Yes, I have 2 agents. One commercially here in Dallas, and then I have an LA one as well.
Okay, cool. And I know they asked you a lot of the good stuff and all the questions. So my questions for you are, they probably already asked this. If y'all would ask this, would let me know. Inspiration. Who inspired you to get into the career of being an actress?
So again, just like my why has evolved, inspiration also evolves, but because it's inspiration, it just pretty much adds on, right? Right, girl. Yes. Tell them. Yes. Yes. So, sorry about that. My actual inspiration started with, believe it or not, Keisha Knight Pulliam.
Okay.
So, and it's not what you think. It's not even from the costume. She starred in a movie named Polly. She was the first little Black girl on TV I saw. For a lot of people, it was 227, and Tootie and Janet Jackson, right?
Right.
For me, it was Keisha Knight Pulliam and Polly. And Polly's a classic. Y'all need to go watch that if y'all don't know what that is. It's got Keisha Knight Pulliam in it, and y'all need to go watch that movie. Oh, but now I'm inspired by you know, of course, the greats. You know, you have your Angela Bassett's and your Regina Halls and your Regina Kings and yes, baby. Sorry, I'm so sorry, guys. But yes, the list goes on and on. But you know, and just the fact that there are so many more women in general behind the camera, like Tasha Smith. She is doing her thing right now behind the camera. Directing, she, for those y'all don't know, she plays Angie in like Why Did I Get Married? The girl that goes, Marcus. She's also an acting coach, and she has been directing lately and killing it. Of course, your Avas. Just, I'm inspired just by the movement of women within the industry a lot these days, for sure.
Yeah, 'cause I know I mentioned earlier before I had, technical difficult. You had like the Pam Greers, you had Diane Carrolls, you had the Dorothy Dandridge, you have all them great women, African American women, who paved the way for actress yourself.
My girl had
From
it. Yep.
from the barriers they had to cross, the challenges they had to cross in order to make their name for themselves in a film industry. And my next question, Lita, is there any competition when it comes to being in the film industry?
Is there a way to like turn the camera to just me or not?
Yeah, when you speak, it's just you on the screen.
No, I was saying it's just me. That's all.
Yeah.
It was a joke. I guess it wasn't that good. But yeah, I'm not into that. That's not my deal. I don't do competition. There's enough out there for everybody. I actually get really, really super, super emotional when I see people reach goals. And it doesn't have to be in acting, just in life when people reach goals, like it makes me so emotional because I'd be so happy because I'm like, man, I just know whenever God say it's my time, where where acting is the only thing that I do to support myself, like I just get super excited. I know so many dope individuals in the acting realm, men and women, and I'm cheering loud, like loud for all of them. That competition thing, unfortunately, it exists, but not within myself. I'm the only person I'm trying to be better than is the old me.
And that's the best way to be. Yes, when you said Polly, I automatically thought of Felicia Rashad because it's based off the book Pollyanna. And so, of course, my name is Anna. So when I was younger, everybody would be like, you have to watch Pollyanna because I was a little chocolate baby. So I totally can relate to seeing yourself in someone else. I got that reference so many times, like Pollyanna. People would say that to me all the time.
So I'll ask this. So different roles that you play, and I know the ladies probably asked you this already. If they did. The roles you put. How do you go about these different roles that you prepare for? The mindset. What is your approach to the different characters that you play on the movies, of course, television?
You're muted, Nadirah.
Can y'all hear me now? Yes, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
You good?
For me, it depends, really. I'm always, especially if it's a complex character, researching, right? Before I even start an audition, I'm looking up, believe it or not, the director and the writer to see if there's some other work out there, to see what type of tone that they like, see what type of pace that they like, especially if it's a TV show, you want to try to match the tone and the pace of the show. But when it comes to characters, I'm always doing research. Do I know somebody like this? Have I been like this in my past? Or is it something I need to do research and get a coach for, right? I've never done crack or drugs before, but I have played someone who has partaked in that. And on one side, people that are looking in would be judging. You can't judge your characters. Those people see nothing wrong with who they are. They love themselves. Well, some people would say that those people don't because that's why they're doing it, blah, blah, blah. But I mean that in the sense of this is normal life for them. This is going to work and coming home to a family to them, so not judging the characters and and doing the research that it takes to become these characters is the main thing that I do to prep for that.
Do you
And
find it easier to play roles that you can personally relate to or that you have a connection to versus something that you're unfamiliar with, like a drug addict or something like that? Is it easier to play something that you can relate and connect to?
Well, within my prep, I try my best to find something to relate to them so that it isn't something that's out of the ordinary. So, for example, in a movie called Heavy that I did play someone who had an issue with drugs and an addiction to drugs, but it came from losing my mother and having a strained relationship with my sister. Well, I have two brothers and love them both to death, but there are things that I've dealt with within those relationships, and we're, in great spaces now, but, prior to, that's what I used to fuel and connect to that character so that it gave and it made sense why she is the way she is. So anytime I have a character, especially if they're complex, I'd like to attach something to it so that it is more real. And I actually like the complex characters more because I always want to try to stretch myself as an actress. Being a mom or being a teacher, even if they're as simple, I'm putting air quotes, I don't know if you see it, as simple as that, I always try to add something, a higher stake, especially if it's drama. If it's comedy, it's different, but that's what I try to do.
and the characters, the type. I know somebody always told me, when you watch movies, don't just watch movies, but get the message within the movie. So when you play a character, your character represents the message that the audience can gravitate to, learn from, or how do you go about that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't get to hear. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying, like, somebody always told me that when you watch a movie, don't be just watch the movie just to watch the movie. Watch the movie to get the message, get some out of the movie, get the message out of the movie. So when you do a character, do you have a message with your character that the audience can gravitate towards too? How do you go about that?
Not necessarily. It kind of all depends on what my part in the movie is. I'm more so going there with the thought of, am I serving the character and am I serving the story at which the director and the writer are asking for? Not necessarily a message, but just, am I serving that character and being true to who that character is? Because that's what happens when y'all see really bad acting, right? They're not telling the truth. You see them and you're like, something's not right about that. It's because they're not telling the truth. I just try to make sure I'm telling the truth and you believe me. That's my main goal.
And that's what's up. And I'm gonna ask you this question too. If you ever had the opportunity to be a part of any classic movie from the past, which one would
Set it
you
off.
set it off?
Yes, that's my favorite movie.
Oh, she knew it without you even having to think about it.
Set It Off is my favorite movie. I love that movie so much.
Who would you have been, Frankie? Who would you have been?
Oh, okay. I would have been Frankie, or I might have been Stoney, but one of them two for sure.
Yeah, I get Frankie vibes from you. I can definitely see Frankie. I definitely can see Frankie.
And so I know you're doing a lot of great things. You answer your why. You're a mother. You are a wife. We just love to hear your story. It's how you keep going. And like Nipsey Hussle said, the marathon continues. And I know that your marathon continues as well. And I know you got a lot of great projects coming up. So what's the next project that you're working on for this upcoming year?
Well, right now, I'm waiting on a film to come out. It's called Just Between Us Girls, directed by Jen. It'll more than likely come out on Tubi. The show that I'm a part of, Washed, we're waiting on some nominations that we got from there's a festival out in LA. I'll get that name for y'all in a second, but we're up for a few nominations there. So we'll be waiting to hear back from that. We've got best set design, we've got best editing, we've got best ensemble, we've got best guest and supporting. And I was lead and assistant director for that. I'm waiting on, I will be in an episode of P-Valley coming out on Stars. So y'all can stay tuned for that. I'm in episode 6 for season 2.
That's my show.
I'm in episode 6 for season 2. And I'm also helping out with a short film right now with the same directors, Jared Couch, and cinematographer Jamario Washington, and it's called The Waiting Room. Dope cast and crew. Can't wait for y'all to see that. We finished shooting that on this Saturday, and in the meantime, waiting for God to say green light. Still auditioning, and that's pretty much what I'm working on right now.
Man, that's what's up. So I'm gonna ask you, is it a production company in the near future that you probably want to end up doing one day? I'm just asking. I know a lot of actors like Will Smith, he has his own production company. LeBron James got his own production company. Will we see your production company in the near future?
I think in the future you'll see me direct more. And then I wouldn't say it's out of the question. Right now I'm focused on that aspect rather than that type of future, but it's not out of the question.
Awesome stuff. And I know the ladies held it down. Anna and Coach Shay held it down for me. Appreciate y'all ladies for what y'all did. They kept you entertained and stuff like that. And like I said, just coming on in, it's like it's amazing to hear your story and the passion, the drive that you have. That truly can make anybody say, you know what? She doing it, I can do it too. And I like what Will Smith said on the interview with Travis Smiley. He said he want to represent possibilities, and you represent possibilities that from being a mother, from being a wife, school teacher, you're pursuing your dream, and that's a beautiful thing. A lot of people can't. They don't want to say they can't do it. They don't want to do it. They'll come with all these excuses. I got this going on. I got that. But you've been determined, and we respect it. I respect it to the highest.
I appreciate that. That's someone.
I appreciate
that so much.
All right, Anna, Shay, do y'all have any final remarks before we ready to get off the air tonight?
I really enjoyed the interview. I learned a lot about the behind the scenes, the way you've developed, into your craft, taking, not just what you see on screen, but it's so much more that goes with it. If you could give any other little brown girl out there any kind of motivation, what would you say to someone who's aspiring to get started in acting? What advice would you give them?
Take classes, learn the craft, but also learn the business, because you can be as talented as you think you are, but if you don't know the business, you'll get looked over. If you're not networking and making true relationships, you'll get looked over. You could be amazing, but if you don't know the right person, how you gonna get where you're supposed to get? And a lot of times acting classes is where you find your tribe. People all the time, I need to get an agent, I need to get a headshot. No, you need to go to class. You need to read books. You need to really know that this is what you want to do. I knew that I wanted to do this because, like I said, I coach as well, volleyball and track, and we got to track meet or have to be up for a volleyball tournament super early. I might have attitude. But if you tell me I got a 4 a.m. call time, I'm gonna be like, so what's up? What we doing? Where we going? Where you need me to be? Over here? Okay, cool. And by the way, a lot of times that's how that goes when you do become union and you do become SAG. And I'm sorry if I use a lot of terms that no one really understood, but they do have those early morning call times. So making sure you're wanting to do this for the right reason is very important, because if not, you'll find yourself in a space where you kind of just burn out and you're like, I don't really want to do this. And don't get me wrong, those of us that really want to do it, we get tired too, and it's always okay to take a break, but don't you dare give up. Don't do it. Take whatever you need to, but someone out there needs to see you. So get in classes and learn the craft, and always, to the best of your ability, be professional as possible at all times.
And that's what's up. And always work in the spirit of excellence and be at an elite level at what you do, no matter where you at. Work, put in the work.
And that's why what you just said, that is why I am a strong believer in doing the, like, I'm saying it wrong, Shanane. Okay, that's the reason why I say do what Shanane said about doing she called them low budget, but the independent projects. That's why I said you should do it, because you need to learn to be in an Excel level even when things aren't even Excel. If that project doesn't have money, it doesn't matter. If you agree to be a part of something, you need to show up like you're going to the Warner Brothers set. You need to show up and show out like you're going to Tyler Perry Studios. Like, you have to, because people talk, this industry is super small and people will not fool with you. They will not. So you gotta make, like I said, learn the craft. Yes, this is fun, but it's a business at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, it is. And I know you mentioned earlier take classes. You actually the first actress that actually mentioned that about taking class. Why? I know you've been bringing it up about taking classes. Implement why it's important to take classes, because you got to work in the spirit of excellence. You got to be an elite level. So explain to those who don't understand why you got to take classes when it comes to preparing to be an actor or actress.
For the same reason you wouldn't trust a doctor that ain't never been to school.
That's good.
Okay, you gonna try to operate on me? No. Plus, as an actor, everything evolves and everything changes. So being up to date, acting, and it's not just about scene work. Do you know how to audition? Do you know how to self-tape? Do you know how to improv? Do you know, like I was speaking earlier, the terms? Do you know? So it's all about you. Like, this is serious. Like, this is serious. This ain't no, I wanted to act today. Yeah. No, you got to sharpen your tools. Talk to anybody. Talk to your Samuel L. Jacksons. Talk to your Halle Berrys. Talk to your Denzels. Or I'm sorry, Denzel. His real name is Denzel, not Denzel.
Denzel, well, he's the GOAT anyway, so he's still the GOAT.
That interview as well.
But yeah, they all have coaches. They all still attend classes. Like, you think if they taking classes, you don't have to take a class? No, come on now.
I mean, that's important, because I notice some people treat it like a hobby, and you shouldn't treat it like a hobby. If there's something that you really want to do, you're going to put in almost 100%. You're going to put in 1,000% in whatever you do in life. And
it is okay. I'm sorry to cut you off. It is okay if some people do feel like they want to do this for fun. If so, you do your chicken circuit theaters. You do your, the little stuff, the stuff that gives you that enjoyment. But like you said, for people that really are taking this serious, you have to perform in the light of excellence, like you're saying. So yeah, for sure. People can, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just believing in that, because no matter where you at or what stage you're on, you want to give your 1,000%, because you never know who is watching you. And we know we're in a world of social media now. So big time companies are always looking for new talent. They're always looking for new faces, so you never know who is watching you. So always bring your best behavior, because you just never know who's watching you.
But
People, go
yeah,
ahead.
for sure. And also, just to add one more thing for that brown skinned girl or that brown skinned boy, or just any POC people, hold you down. Oh shoot, my mommy brain just kicked in. I'm so sorry. Oh, I forgot that quick. Sorry. It'll come back. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, but it'll go better. Like I said, just just working excellent, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you at, just working excellence. Perfect your craft. Study. Get some mentors. Get someone that's already established in that area. If you desire to go in that area, get with somebody who's already there and learn from them and study and perfect it. Yeah. So go ahead.
I remember. Oh my God.
We lost.
I was gonna say, oh, thank you. Okay. Take the word that Anna said, aspiring. Take it out. Take it out. If you in acting classes, you're an actor. If you do a scene, you're an actor. Taking that is like the words that you choose to describe yourself are super important. No one's like, sorry. No one's like, oh, I'm an aspiring doctor. I'm an aspiring pilot. You gonna get on that plane? No. Like you have to speak those types of words about yourself. Like take that aspiring out. Anytime I'm like on someone's social media or something, I'll DM them and I'll say, no, you're acting. You might not be, on the red carpets or whatever, and whatever. But if you're in class, if you've been on a set, if you are studying, you're an actor. You are an actor. Take that aspiring stuff out. Whatever it is, an aspiring chef. But no, if you're doing recipes, you a chef.
That sums it up right there. So that you are what you are. Life and death is in the power of tongue. You eat the fruit thereof. So you speak those things to be those they were. Speak those things that existed. So X out, inspiring. X that out from now on. You are what you are. So that's a good life lesson right there. Appreciate you, Anna, with that life lesson here on Impact Voice tonight. I know we are pressing with time, and it's after 9. We do thank everybody for being with us tonight here on the podcast, and big shouts out to I want to say your name right. It's the Nadirah. That's it?
Nadirah.
Nadirah. Okay, Nadirah. That's a beautiful name.
Pretty soon, there's gonna be lots of little Nadirahs around here. Actually, Nadirahs are a very popular name and within the Muslim community. But yeah, once I am who I'm gonna be, they're gonna be lots of Nadirahs being born.
Yeah. And that's what's up right there. And I say we thank you for taking time out to be together, from mommy duties to actress to wife, and you decided want to kick it with us here on Impact Voice and giving us the opportunity to interview you. So we do thank you for that as well.
I had so much fun. I appreciate me. Everybody can contact me at Nadirah Official on all social media platforms. Holla at me.
Yeah. Also, how can they check out your previous work as well? Any sites or media site they go to check out?
Yeah. There's a few things on. So Washed season 2 is on Amazon Prime. Like I said, P-Valley, that'll be on Stars. Tubi, you can check me out on actually 3 productions. Heavy. Dark Tresor, where I play a detective trying to stop human trafficking, and Just Between Us Girls is about to come out. So those 3 things are all on Tubi, and I'm Amazon Prime and Tubi right now. And then I've got stuff that's on my website if anybody wants to check that out.
And that's what's up right there. Like I said, we thank you again for allowing us to interview you. And I know the ladies held it down. I know I was like in and out with
Yeah, Ferman. Yeah.
I apologize for that. Hey, but the marathon still continue and they still held it down. So I appreciate the team for holding it down, whatever. And we're gonna be back here next Tuesday night. Same bad time, same bad channel. For those who don't know, that's from the Batman TV show. That way before my time. It was coming on when I was born in the 80s. So we want everybody to have a great, prosperous night. Study. If you decide to become an actor, actress, take them classes. Find you a good mentor. Find you somebody that's already established. Don't give it nobody who is starting out just like you starting out. Give it somebody. Learn, man. It's always stuff out there to learn. People are always watching. You never know who watching. Like I said, these industries now are looking for new talent. They looking on. Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick though? Like, he's very true about getting a mentor, but I do want to say it is important. A lot of times people want to reach out to those people that's already done made it. Those people don't really have the time. It is important to get with people to meet you where you're at. And
True.
It's good because you can grow up together. If you think about it, think about all the shows from the 90s, like all of them that did the same 3 or 4 movies together. They all big now. But if you look back at their first careers, them first movies they did, Friday, all those people that were in there, those same people are all doing their own thing collectively, but they started together as a group. So I think it is important to be with people that are where you're at so that y'all can grow together. Because a lot of times the people that are where you're wanting to be, they don't have the time. They can't do those things that you're looking for.
Right. And that's true right there. So, man, just enjoy this life journey. Enjoy what God has put in you to earth to do. Utilize your gifts. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your talent. I love the scripture says in the Bible that God restored the years. They cake weren't simple. So God restored years. So never think it's too late for you to live out your dream. God restore years. When I love about God, God don't see time. We as humans see time because we in this physical earth. But God is eternal. He don't see time. 1,000 years to us is just one day to him. So as we in the third month of 2022, take advantage of the time. Don't go to 2022 and waste time. And then when 2023 roll around, you want to get so excited about the new year. And if you get excited, you had your high expectation, and then you went into that slump. We get distracted, and then we go through that same pattern again. And then when it come around to another year, we had the high expectations. So I'm encouraging everybody, me included, don't waste time. But I love what Rick Ross said. It don't matter how long it takes, move correctly, but don't waste time. So we want everybody to have a great night. We'll see y'all next Tuesday here on Walking His Ways Impact Voice Podcast. I'm your host, Ferman Jackson Jr., along with Anna C., along with Coach Shay. Also, big shout out to Kenny. He was not able to join us tonight, so big shout out to him. And we want everybody to have a prosperous night. Remember, take them classes, study, work in the spirit of excellence, and remain at elite level. We see you next time, everybody. Peace.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.